Do you think that, frankly, it's too easy to come into this country? Let's ask someone who's come into this country. Paul Kuznecovs is from AEP Baltic Link, a company who brings migrants into the UK to fill jobs. Hello to you, Paul. Thanks very much for coming in.
Hello.
Now, you bring in European migrants, don't you, into this country to do jobs. One of the issues that comes up a lot, and one of the things that obviously people get quite heated about, is this whole idea of, have we got people in this country already who are prepared to do the same job? So are these people coming in and in effect stealing jobs from native British people? I mean, you really can answer that, because presumably you have quite a demand for staff.
Yes, there's always demand for low-skilled workers who would do the job what British won't do. You know, there's always such demand.
What kinds of jobs will Brits not do, in your experience? What kind of things do people want?
Farming, these sort of jobs, you know, picking strawberries, peeling potatoes, you know, any kind of job, and also low-skilled factories jobs as well.
So people are coming in from Eastern Europe to do those jobs, and the demand for it, has it been consistent, or is it falling off now, or is there still, you know, are you still managing to get jobs for all of those people who are coming over?
Yeah, you know, demand is all the time the same, but it's growing together with the economy. You know, it's if the economy is doing well, we require more low-skilled workers. If we don't, if the economy doesn't, then we don't.
What are your views in terms of how easy it is to come into this country? Is it as easy as some people think if you are from within Europe? Yeah,
it's very easy. You just board the plane, come over in here and try to settle down, find a job. As long as your English allows you to do that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, it's very difficult right now to come over from outside the European Union. Yeah. And
on immigrants coming from out of Europe should be extended to people coming in from European countries as well, and people coming in from Poland and Romania or wherever that may be should have to pay a tax as well for public services. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they must pay the tax. Everybody is paying. You know, we are equal. We are all human beings, and we should be treated equally. But when we talk about the application fees, if to be honest with you, 10% it's insignificant. I don't see. I think the reason of our discussion is in here. It's not the 10% on application fee. It's about where and why we need the money for. It's where we get them and how we spend them. It's just an additional reason for us to start this discussion.
The thing that people get quite angry about is when they feel that people have come to the country, perhaps with good intentions, perhaps without good intentions. They come here, and within a very short amount of time, they have got their children in schools. They are having operations on the National Health Service, and frankly, the amount they've actually paid into the system is minute, when there are people who've lived here all their lives, who've paid tax all their lives, they've paid thousands and thousands of pounds, who are kind of pushed to the bottom of the queue. Do you, as someone who's come into this country, do you have any kind of sympathy with that idea, or do you just frankly take the attitude, well, when people come here, the minute they start paying tax, that's when they're entitled to everything?
Yeah, but exactly, you know, the government should make sure that most of the people who come to this country legally, they've got an opportunity to work legally and pay taxes. As long as we pay taxes, the taxes pay already for all the public sector. But whether the government is too generous or not, it's a different subject.
As someone who's come into this country from where did you come from originally?
From Latvia.
From Latvia. Do you think that you coming into this country and all of your kind of fellow Eastern Europeans, do you get the impression that you are benefiting this country or not?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, that's the whole idea of the European enlargement, to benefit. So people, they've got free movement, free labor opportunities, what I think is very, very useful. As long as you give them an opportunity to work legally in here, it's very important.
The other concern, let me just raise this briefly, that some people have, is that a lot of people are coming over from Eastern Europe, in effect, to work for a few years, get loads of money and then just go back to wherever they came from with loads of money and be able to, you know, to support themselves better financially. Is that a reality, or are the number of people doing that actually quite small in comparison to those who want to stay here for good?
It's difficult to say how many people go back and how many to stay in here, but you earn money, you spend them in here. I know many people, like myself, I don't have an opportunity to save any money right now. I spend everything in here. You know, I don't send anything abroad. I spend a lot of money in here. And one of the reasons why people go back, because they realize, actually, if you want to live in here, you got to spend.
Yeah.
If you eat only beans and jacket potatoes, and after you save and go back, you know, that's your choice. But some people don't do that. They leave.
And it's not a cheap country to live in, is it?
No, it is not.
And I would imagine a lot of people find that as well. It sounds very much to me, from what the government is announcing, that they are trying generally to reduce the number of people coming into this country. You know, they're trying to put more obstacles up, or at least make it sound as if they are. And they're talking about the fast-tracked routes to full citizenship for people who do charity work, but moves to discourage long-term residents of foreign nationals. In other words, if you want to live here, you've got to become a British citizen. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think it's a good idea for people to have to become British citizens when they move to this country from abroad?
Every person has got its choices. You want to, if you believe in this country and you want to become a citizen of this country, it's your choice. You must follow a certain route in order to achieve that. It's totally up to you. If you don't want and you want to stick to your another citizenship, it's up to you. I personally believe it would be counterproductive to put any caps on immigration, because the first thing, it is not a good thing. You know, you cannot limit something, whatever you do. Yeah, it depends on the skills, on what kind of requirements, what kind of people we need in here, and allow them to come over so they start paying taxes. You know, I don't think that the caps would be a good idea. But when people come in here, we must make sure that they work legally, they pay their taxes.
What about you in terms of British citizenship? I mean, have you become a British citizen already, or do you intend to become one?
When I came to this country, you know, it was in 2001. It was a long time ago, and I look at all those opportunities what there are in here, and I believe in this country, and I made a decision straight in the beginning. I wanted to become a citizen of this country, and I was doing everything by rules. And I become a citizen of this country. And you know what? It's a very interesting thing. I think the government should not give away a citizenship easily, to the left, to the right. People must prove that they deserve a citizenship. For example, when I was attending a ceremony, for me it was a celebration. I was dressed smart, I was prepared. I've done so many things during my stay in here that I show to them what I've done, and they've given me the citizenship. But when you look at other people who hardly speak English, who dressed in a sportssuit track on the ceremony, and you wonder, I've done so much, I deserve the citizenship. What about that chap staying next to me? Has he deserved that or not? It's a different subject, and you know, I think the government should be getting tougher with those who's getting the citizenship.
Do you think and this is the final question, because I'm exhausting you today, but I'm just very interested to hear your perspective on all of this as someone who has, you know, come to this country. But what are your thoughts on the attitude of British people towards the immigration that is going on at the moment? Do you think there's a lot of narrow-mindedness? Do you think a lot of British people, if they were to go and work abroad themselves, would kind of realise that it's a two-way street, and in fact it's a positive thing that we can move around the world and set up home, and as long as we're prepared to work, you know, it's all a positive thing?
All people are different, but one of the reasons why I love Britain, it's because of the British people. Because of their kindness, because of their happiness, because of their wisdom. that's another reason why they travel and they are everywhere, because British people, they are good people, and I want to be, and I'm already is a British. That's why.
Our weather's not so good though, is it?
Well.
Mind you, compared to Latvia, it's probably not that different, is it?
You can always pop into the plane and go for a holiday.
Yes, that's true.